Male loneliness is a silent epidemic destroying generations of men. You're probably feeling the cold embrace of loneliness, a silent battle that many men fight in the shadows. Perhaps you're feeling invisible, disconnected, lonely? Statistics reveal a harsh reality. Suicide rates are 3 times higher among men. Men are disproportionately represented among the homeless. Men are incarcerated at a far higher rate. We must understand that behind every statistic is a human being crying out for connection and understanding. Yet, society seems indifferent, even celebratory, of these struggles. These are more than simply numbers. They represent lives, stories, and unfulfilled potential. These men are your fathers and your brothers. As Friedrich Nietzsche once stated, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." But what happens when you feel like there is no why? Here's a question. Have you ever felt the weight of solitude push against your chest, making it difficult to breathe, let alone move forward? Loneliness isn't just being alone. It's feeling isolated, unheard, and unvalued, even when surrounded by people. You may have sought connection, online, at work, in fleeting relationships, but instead found shallow interactions that left you more hollow. The very fabric of connection seems broken. Societal expectations have morphed, leaving many men feeling out of place or misunderstood. You've woken up to a reality where traditional connections seem scarce or superficial. Here's a shocking truth. If you're waiting for someone else to save you from loneliness, you could be waiting forever, because the catalyst for change begins with you. Consider this loneliness as a call to adventure rather than despair. It's an opportunity to reinvent yourself in a world that has lost its way. The biggest obstacle isn't external, it's internal. You fear being alone with your thoughts, don't you? Silence feels unbearable, so you indulge in addictions like alcohol, booze, porn, endless scrolling, or binge-watching junk TV. You've been taught that vulnerability is for the weak, that real men don't discuss their feelings. Society even mocks men's fragility, leading to a reluctance to seek help or acknowledge the need for it. The fundamental issue is that you've been avoiding yourself all this time. So, you face a dilemma. Continue in this cycle of loneliness or break free and embark on a new journey. As Oscar Wilde once observed, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. But how can you fall in love with yourself after years of ignoring your own reflection? It's time to turn isolation into introspection. Use your isolation as a training ground to become an unbeatable version of yourself. Now is the time to decide. Instead of seeking external validation, look inward. This is not about withdrawing from society, but rather about establishing a foundation of self-respect and self-awareness. Here's your 3-step mission, should you choose to accept it. Step 1 is radical self-honesty. Be your own best companion. Would you tolerate dishonesty or negativity from a friend? No. Then stop accepting it from yourself. Stop running from yourself. Sit with your thoughts, write them down, accept your failures and forgive yourself. Tell yourself the truth, but with compassion. Yes, I have made mistakes, but I am not my mistakes. I am capable of changing. Step 2 is strategic life redesign. If your environment is killing your spirit, leave. Sell everything if necessary. Reboot, restart, rebuild. Self-educate. Use this opportunity to grow. Learn a new skill, read books, listen to podcasts, hit the gym, or dive into hobbies. Knowledge transforms isolation into empowerment. As Bruce Lee said, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Step 3 is setting boundaries. Not every relationship deserves your energy. Toxic connections often do more harm than good. It is better to stand alone than to stand in the wrong crowd. Embrace the solitude like a monk in meditation, turning every lonely moment into a step towards enlightenment. Here's a question. What's one simple thing you can do today to become the type of person you'd like to spend time with? Your circumstances do not define who you are. You are defined by your response to them. The world doesn't need any more broken men. The world needs men who can transform their pain into purpose. Your loneliness ends today. Not by finding someone else, but by becoming someone worth finding. When you embrace loneliness, it stops being your enemy, and your world changes. You develop self-reliance, resilience, and magnetism. The irony is that when you no longer need external validation, meaningful connections often find you. Your energy speaks before you do, and people gravitate towards you. You learn to stand tall, not because someone is holding you up, but because you've built an unshakable foundation within. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By becoming your own anchor, you weather life's storms without being swept away. Remember, nobody can destroy you unless you allow them. You are the architect of your reality. Stand up, be uncomfortable, grow relentlessly. So, are you ready to stop waiting for the world to recognize your value and start seeing it for yourself? Loneliness can be a long, dark tunnel. But remember, loneliness isn't a curse. It's a call to action. It's an opportunity to rebuild, evolve, and redefine who you are. Start today. Sit with your thoughts. Invest in your growth. Become the man you'd be proud to spend time with. Because mastering the art of being alone gives you the strength to overcome any challenge. The path is not easy, and neither are you. You're on a path that few dare to tread. So embrace it, learn from it, and let it inspire and empower you to connect in ways that truly matter. Stay strong, stay true, and let your loneliness be the forge where your spirit is steeled. Remember, Lao Tzu states that he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is, are you ready?